Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So I want to talk about offering solutions to men, because that's what I'm trying to do here on YouTube with MGTOW, offering solutions to men. The problem is that solutions to difficult problems are very difficult to put into practice. And it's a lot easier. It would be a lot easier and a lot more rewarding financially for me to entertain you and to divert you from the real problems that are happening around you. So let's talk about it, because it'll make me feel a lot better. But before I get into it, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Howard Dare channel and click the bell symbol to accept the notifications. That way you'll get updated when I release new videos, and especially when I put out live streams, which I do fairly often. Okay, so let's get into it. Offering solutions for men. Now, there's a lot of MGTOW content out there, which is a good thing. I remember a time when MGTOW content was falling by the wayside, about 2.5 years ago. And I was thinking to myself, wow, it would be really terrible if the only thing that men had to watch were these kind of like cookie cutter McDonald's videos that offered no solutions, that actually just kind of encouraged men to be upset and angry and then, support particular channels. And I thought, this isn't right? Like, we need some videos that can analyze the political, the social, the psychological, the emotional, the transactional situation, okay? The dynamic that's going on between the men and the women. Kind of like what you would do if you were trying to write a program and you were trying to code this into a simulation. Not just complaints, not just exposition, and not just numbers, okay? Because that doesn't offer a solution to a problem. That's just someone pretending that, they're really smart. And to be honest with you, it gets kind of old fast. So that's where we were. And I decided at that time that I would start making videos and offering my opinion to the YouTube community. And that's what I've been doing now for a while. So what you have is the enslavement of virtue. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Some people work within a system, and when they fail, they adjust their behavior to give them the desired outcome. I know I'm saying this and some people are like, well, that's, Aristotle said that too. Right? We knew that a long time ago, Howard. Indeed, you're coming up with a theory or something that you want to get done in physical reality. You're analyzing the situation, you're taking in the information through your senses, and you're coming up with a solution within your head, given the circumstances, and then you're executing it. And then you're examining the results, the progress that you're making. And if you're not making progress, you're taking a step back, you're re-examining the situation mentally, you're proposing, some adjustments, and then you're executing those adjustments. And then again, you're analyzing the results, and then you're making the adjustments. It's a constant process. Although, once you're getting the results that you want in life, in diet, in your finances, in your social relationships, you don't have to worry about that part. You've got that part under control. So this is what some people do in life. All people do this to a degree, right? Like a big fat person wants to get something to eat and they're hungry. So they reach their hand out and they grab towards the food and they realize that they're, grabbing at the wrong spot. So they adjust where they grab and then they get a hold of the thing and then they, pick it up and bring it to their mouth. There you go. Congratulations. You're a big fat slob. So this is the process. It's not very exciting. Like I remember when I was studying Aristotle in school, and I was like, well, that's kind of obvious. It's like, yes, it is, but you'd be surprised how many people don't actually do it, especially in relationships, political interactions, social interactions. I mean, have the Democrats made a single adjustment since losing to Trump? Right? Supposedly these are smart people in charge of, large media concerns. Have they made the adjustments? No, they have not. So, it's funny when they're up there and they're pontificating, And it's like, this is the same old bullshit, isn't it? Right? They're playing the exact same old, they're saying different things. They're using different, variables to plug in to the constants, but it's the same thing over and over again. It's a character assassination. It's not attempting to really solve a problem. It's identity politics, pitting groups against each other. It's like, but you're not offering any actionable solutions, are you? You're stoking people's hatreds. You're highlighting a situation that is perfectly obvious. Here, okay? Attractive women have an easier time in life because people want to help them because, the women are attractive and the people want access. That's it. That's the premise of thousands of videos, okay? You don't need to make the videos. We know that. It's fine, though. Spread the message, but hypergamy is hypergamy. And one of the variables is the desirability, the sexual market value of the people involved. That's why when you see a woman that you consider to be absolutely beautiful and perfect, you're in a lot of trouble, right? Like, she knows that you feel that way towards her, and she does not feel that way towards you. This is another basic concept that, actually, this is a concept that needs to be restated enough until men get it, is that just because you look at the world in a particular way, that doesn't mean that other people look at the world in the same way. Indeed, you're trying to solve problems, get things done. I'm assuming you're an honorable man of virtue. So you're trying to get things done. You're not trying to hurt anybody. See, there it is. There's the mistake, right? We don't know who we're dealing with. And when you're dealing with women and you've been told your whole life that men and women are the same, that there's no difference between them, you enter into this dynamic, this relationship, this interaction dynamic, and you think that everybody's intentions are honorable, and they're not. There are aspects of your personality that you could tap into that would help you remember what the real situation is. Unfortunately, for the man, most men lack the mental complexity to understand the relationship, the social, the political dynamic. They relate everything back to the physical. So let's say that you enter into a personality conflict with a woman at work who's at about your same level, and she's trying to destroy you socially so that she can destroy you economically and take your responsibility, your authority in the workplace. But she can't outcompete you and she can't outfight you. Stick with me. But she can undercut you politically and socially. Do you understand? Now, this might be a type of behavior that you yourself would never engage in. But why would you assume that she feels the same way? Let's say that it's a diversity, affirmative action hire, that the person is just not qualified, that they really can't even compete with you on getting results in the workplace. But she's much prettier than you, all right? Let's say it's another man. Again, he cannot compete with you. He just doesn't have the skills or the tools. But he certainly does have some tools, doesn't he? He certainly has the tools that feminists use. He's certainly full of resentment, isn't he? So this is going to translate into a social attack. Do you understand? And do you see why so many people that lack serious skills and abilities engage in this type of political, social character assassination? Why they find fault with others. Now, it's sad because you, as a decent, honorable man, you actually think that their concerns are legitimate. Like, he didn't open the door for me 2 weeks ago. I think I saw him at a party and there were bad things at that party. So you actually think, as a decent, honorable man, that these are legitimate attacks. And you're like, what are you talking about? I always open the door for women. Right? And it's like, what are you talking about? I've never been to a party in my whole life. Right? That's been, conditioned out of me. And they smile and giggle and they say, oh, perhaps I was wrong. And then the next day they say, he pushed me out of the way. He didn't realize I was there. He just stepped in front of me and walked around, and I tripped and I got hurt. And he didn't even look back. And you're like, wow, I don't remember anything like that. And she's like, that's right. You weren't even looking. And everybody at the office scowls at you as the woman is holding her arm in a sling, wiping the tears away. Later on that day, you'll be called into your manager's office and told that they no longer require your services. This is how men are treated. This is not an isolated incident. I release a video and they're like, well, we have to double check that, Howard Dare. And it's like, oh, well, we've looked at it and we can't see anything wrong with it. So you can release it, Howard Dare. And then I do. And they say, oh, you know what, Howard Dare, we made a mistake. We need to check it again. And realize that this is a real-time news video, right? Like if it does not release that moment that I release it, it's useless. You know, it'll get 20,000 views if it's released right now, but in one day, it won't get 2,000 views. It's real-time news. So to say that, you know, oh, we have to double check your stuff and it's going to take a couple days is to say to me that you are not allowed to make videos on events that are happening in real time. Gee, thanks, right? Now, a lot of people understand, okay, that for me, that's a big deal. That's huge. But for someone who's merely here to entertain you and to stoke your hatred and to divert you from solving problems, that's not a problem at all. They never make videos on those subjects anyway. They never talk about real-time news. They're always talking about made-up things. They're always talking about stuff that happened a couple of weeks ago that, you know, is specifically targeted to get you upset, but not to offer you solutions. Look, solutions are hard. So what's the solution in this instance that I'm talking about here? Well, it's the same that it is in most things of this nature, that you are aware that it's happening, that you are aware that the people who cannot compete with you psychologically, intellectually, they're coming for you on another level. And it's this very basic social attack level. It's a political attack and it's politically motivated. All right. They would do it to anybody in your situation. It's not being done to you personally, although the attacks are extremely personal. And again, one of the attributes of a successful political attack is that you won't realize that it's a political attack. You'll think that there are legitimate concerns going on. Like, wow, have men really been oppressing women for thousands of years? This is why it's so disgusting to see the blue pill weak man trying to defend feminism and the women, you know, when I speak out here in MGTOW. It's like women don't value men. They see men as disposable. They cheat men. They complain about men. They resent men from a very basic biological level. And they have these social tricks, games, political attacks that they play in order to secure resources and to secure people's authority and assume new social authority. And understand that the men, the weak men, they also engage in this because they cannot compete with you on an intellectual or a physical level. So that's not where you are being attacked. You are being attacked socially, behind the scenes. Your character, your motivations. You've got to understand this. Otherwise, it's going to eat away at you. You're not, you're not going to make any progress. For every bit of progress you make, there's going to be a setback, and you're not going to understand why. And you're going to think, oh, this is so unfair. But cheaters got to cheat. Scavengers got to scavenge. And I'll tell you, if you examine most spheres, most niches within a physical environment, you will find that the scavengers do quite well. Now, I'm hoping that you have the tools to apply this idea, this concept, to this wider social, political issue that you're involved in, where you, as a man, are under attack. They're scavenging on your hard work, on your good virtue, on your presumption that everybody else is thinking the way that you're thinking. This insight should allow you, in many instances, to sidestep this dog and pony show, this underhanded tactic, almost entirely. The problem now will not be, do you understand it? The problem now will be, do you see it? And I will tell you that there is a certain type of blindness within virtuous people. It has to do with assuming that everybody thinks the way that they do. But that's a topic for another video. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.